What's up, guys? Welcome back. My name is Jeff. I'm the owner of RDR Gear here in Salt Lake City, Utah. If you don't know what we do at RDR, you can find a couple different ways. One, this YouTube channel. Liking, sharing, subscribing helps me and Christian quite a bit. Our Instagram, our Facebook, and our website, rdrgear.com. See what we build there, our products that we sell, manufacture, and of course the reviews on this channel. So we have kind of been on a training trip lately with some videos with my buddy Chris from Odyssey Training. Christian and I just ended a 2-day Force on Force seminar, which was a great time. We'll have some footage on that coming up. But as we're coming into spring, summer's on the corner, I figured we'd do a little bit of travel content. I travel quite a bit and have been traveling for that's 10 years on classes. Up until probably 3 years ago, I didn't really take a ton of classes here in Salt Lake because there weren't many to take here in Salt Lake. Now with Josh and Taylor owning new owners of the Farm Training Center, there's been a lot of instructors coming to Utah that I normally would have had to travel to train with. So, but I still do quite a bit of traveling and training and whatnot in classes. So I wanted to give you guys a little tips and tricks series on a pistol travel, a rifle travel, and a travel clothing. I think sometimes clothing is forgotten, especially when you're traveling to a range you may have never been to, a state that you're assuming the weather's going to be great based on your prior planning and your forecast. But some things you can avoid, pitfalls and whatnot, and things that I have learned the hard way. So everything I'm going to show you guys today, I've kind of had an experience on because as you guys know, I'm sometimes maybe a little prone to some bad luck. Yesterday, side note, thank God I had prior planned, I brought a piston gun to try to run a DI UTM bolt-in, which did not work, but thank God I had old trusty backup rifle in the case. So again, 2 is 1, 1 is none. Right, Christian? Exactly. So, all right, guys, so let's start out. So this basically here is everything that I would take to a multi-day pistol class. If I'm taking a local class, things still kind of stay the same, to be honest. This is everything I can put on basically my little pistol checklist that now is more mental than anything else. But these are all the pitfalls or things that I have run across over the years. And this gives you some basic gear that you could easily get through a 2-day class, minus your personal clothing that you would travel to and from with, and then your after-class clothing. So, as always, Ear Pro, right? I personally take 2. Batteries are in both brand new, but I always take 2 because electronic Ear Pro, Murphy's Law, these things will shit out on you at the most inopportune time. And that static in your ear, that buzzing or one out, one in, sometimes that can be quite annoying. So trying not to buy Ear Pro at the local pro shop if it's a range that has one, or the local gun store that you may have to drive an hour to get to. Making a backup for Ear Pro is one of those things you probably want to do. Batteries for everything. The Therium, I grabbed the wrong Therium Vault this morning when I was getting ready for this video. This one does not have all the batteries in it, but I do have one of these that has batteries. This is also where my handheld light will travel, or a backup light will travel, because the Therium Vaults are super cool. This is a brand new one I have, but this one, they're Velcro lined. You can lay your batteries out there depending on which ones you have. Surefire 18650s, 350s, whatever case may be. But all your batteries will run in here perfectly for anything you're running electronics wise. So super cool little piece of kit here, right? Ammo totes. We designed these 6 years ago. This is one of our top selling products. So this is how I store my ammo. Ammo I normally have in a case, and a little side note, this design came from, I was in a Costa Ludus class one year, and it was kind of like it is right now, kind of cloudy, rainy in the morning, sprinkles. Well, it downpoured a little bit, and then it went away, it came back. Well, where the rain was running off and splashing in, I had left a case of ammo in the paper boxes. And I grabbed that case, a little wet, no big deal. Day 2 comes around. That box got soaked overnight. A little more rain came. I swung the case of ammo because I had poured out the 50-round boxes into the case, and I splashed ammo all over the concrete. So that little side note, funny story, that's where these came from. This will hold up to 750 rounds of 9mm ammo. We did used to have an XL. We don't do the XLs anymore, because I don't think you need to put all 1,000 rounds in here because it gets kind of weird shaped. But 500 rounds in here all day, no problem. So what I normally do is I'll take all my backup magazines from my 2011 will be in here, and then I will get to the range. and I'll unload the first 500 rounds, and I'll pour all the boxes into this bag. And this bag is my first 500 for that day. And then all my mags are topped off. I'll just throw my mags on top of that ammo. And then now I can take this to the line with me. If it's a square range class or whatnot, I can go back and forth with this thing, and I can reach into and top it off. But an ammo tote is a great option. These things do a lot more than just hold magazines. They will hold a set of ear pro, a set of eye pro, cold weather gear. I'll show you that further, but these are an amazing option to have. They come in a bunch of cool colors. The little Velcro tab here. We used to do laser cut patches. Unfortunately, the dude who was doing our laser cutting is no longer doing it, but you can get like patch panel, a great place. You can get 9mm or customized patches, your name on them, whatever, for that little Velcro spot here. And they come in a bunch of different colors. They are semi-water resistant. They will bead water, but it's a great way to secure your magazines and your ammo. Velcro close your top, and you're good to go. And you can find these on the RDR Gear website. iPro. iPro is essential to have, right? I usually get something that has, I don't wear the wraparound big large sunglasses like some guys do. I'll wear Oakley's or regular sunglasses. Now that I'm getting older, I need prescription sunglasses, so I'll be getting those here shortly. But the speed jackets are a great set of glasses to have. You can swap out to the rose, to the dark, and the clear, so it's a great way, especially when it gets later in the day. Like right now, we have a pretty decent overcast. I would run these right now, but it wouldn't be, it's a little bit too dark for sunglasses. So having something that you're able to swap lenses out is beneficial. Sunscreen. I know it's corny, but look at my face from yesterday. I forgot mine, or actually I ran out. But this is one of those things that it's always, someone's gonna at the range will let you borrow, but it's one of those things that your health, skin, sun. I spent 10 years in Florida, so just take care of yourself. So sunscreen is an awesome thing to have, just always to have in your case. And you might be the guy who's giving to somebody else to use. So writing stuff. I prefer a hardback notepad like this one. That fits perfectly in a back pocket or in a BDU side pocket if you have one. If you don't have a space, the little notepads aren't much bigger, but these do fit more in a wallet or in a fanny pack or something. So I have a fanny pack here that I'll talk about in a minute, but I always take something to write notes with. Or if you're meeting somebody, my buddy Chris Souza I met over 10 years ago at a Costa Lewis class. We're best friends today. He's somebody I talk to literally every day. So how I kept information from him was this. We just exchanged phone numbers at the time. Is like I didn't have my phone with me at that time, but now we have cell phones and whatnot. But it's always good to have contacts and stuff in your notes. So keep that in there. Writing utensils, of course. Med kit. Even though the range will always have a primary med kit, or they'll designate a primary medic for the class that day, you always have instructors ask who's got medical training. I personally just keep one with me because this can go in my carry-on bag, it can be at my range, it can be in my rental car, it can do a lot of things having this personal med kit with me at all times. So and this is the Amp XL. So if you guys have not seen one of these yet, this is basically a med kit that is organized and everything is a one wrap system. And it stays organized, so when you stick it upside down, nothing comes out. So you can build these out to your exact preferences and your skill level, whatnot, tourniquets, gloves, etc. All that stuff goes in there. Another cool thing, if you need like organizational item or pouches or bags or whatnot, these Magpul DACA pouches are legit. These things come in handy. If you don't have one of these for your range kit, I would recommend getting one of these. I use these for my tools. For whatever tools I need to address a red dot sight, tweak a mag pouch, whatever, this is where I store those. So, like so, right? So this clear one here. I use the clear one so I know this is for my tools, but everything I need in here to adjust a red dot, wrenches, a little fix-it kit. I've got a bigger little driver bit set in here, but you can kind of fill these up, and I got some Sharpies in here. So again, you can do a lot of different, put a lot of different things in here. And these DACA pouches, you can find them at any gun shop, magpul.com, Amazon. I think they're on Amazon as well. So the DACA pouches are super huge. All right. EDC handheld, always taking a handheld light with me. This is the new Cloud Rain Micro. So we'll have some content coming out on these here very shortly. But so far, I'm very, very impressed with this light. My primary gun belt. This is just me personally. Whenever I go to a pistol class, I prefer running from an overt belt just more comfortable in the body. But I also do, when I travel, since I have a Utah concealed carry permit, I do take my EDC gun with me, right? So if for some reason I wanted to switch out or get some reps in the EDC, I take the holster and a couple of mag carriers and magazines, and that gives me ability to switch out as well. But primarily I run a overt belt, just like this one here. And guys, don't get hung up. I know we got some content coming out on Safariland versus EDC holsters. Don't get caught up on holsters. It's great to have an active retention system in there. We'll talk about that in that video coming up. But don't feel like you shouldn't have one or not have one, because when you start getting into more advanced classes, carbine, pistol, having something that's locking that pistol in place, especially with movement, is a huge asset to have. So definitely look at a Safariland holster. Fanny pack. I run one of these, honestly, for snacks. I am a big proponent, Crispy knows, of gummy lifesavers. So I will run a fanny pack of some sort. And if I'm not running my placard, like on our MSP, which I normally carry my snacks in, I run a fanny pack for, sometimes I'll put my notepad in the back here, and my pens is easier to get to versus digging in my pockets with the belts on. But this is honestly for snacks, gum, bottled water will fit in here as well. So again, having a fanny pack, just something to, you know, get a quick water, snacks or not, is a good thing to have as well. I'm just fortunate to have a backup 2011. You don't have to have two guns. If you're taking a quality handgun, right, one that's not been tinkered on by you the night before with a new widget or a tuned trigger, whatever, you'll be fine. You don't really need two pistols. If you have the ability to take two guns that are the same format, like two 2011s, for example, so your holsters, your mag carriers, all that works the same, fine, do so. But that's why you take the EDC pistol, because if one of these went down, I would just run the rest of the class in an EDC format. And 99% of any pistol class out there, unless you're taking something extremely specific, is not going to care what kind of bucket you hold the pistol in during the reps. As long as it's safe, it's secure, it retains, no one's going to say anything about it. It's not a Stirpa, right? So, but if you can have two pistols of the same format, take two pistols, right? It's Murphy's Law. One is none, two is one kind of thing. It helps in that aspect. So, and then when I travel with these, I just happen to use the staccato bag because it will nicely hold two pistols, because it has the split pocket pouch inside here. So I could put one on one side and one on the other, and we're good to go. So, and of course, guys, I didn't organize this bag. I could make this thing fit much better, but once it's all said and done, it actually fits in this case. The last thing, I don't like cold. I am very adverse to cold. Coming from Florida for so many years, I just don't like cold weather. So I make sure that no matter what the weather report says, I always Google, you know, Weather Channel, 5-day forecast, all that kind of stuff. I carry a cold weather kit. And lo and behold, it's an ammo tote. The cold weather kit has nothing more than a hat, multiple pairs of gloves, and this collapsible rain jacket. This is a Sitka collapsible rain jacket. It is super small. It's windproof, waterproof, and I can literally roll this thing up and push the air out of it, and this all fits just like so. Because even though my luggage will probably have maybe a heavier jacket per se, just in case, this is what I'm taking on the range that morning, right? So I'm not going to take additional stuff. I may grab that jacket if it is inclement weather that morning, but this is more to keep me warm. Additionally, throughout the day on the range, I take multiple gloves, because as the thinner, I don't like shooting with gloves at all, but I find the thinnest gloves, these mechanics wear gloves, are the thinnest I've found. The Magpul gloves are the next thinnest, which I really like. But I take multiples because as these get wet, I can swap them out, right? And get back to the hotel. If my hotel has any type of laundry service, go throw them in the dryer for 10 minutes, we're good to go. Or I lay them out and they usually will dry overnight. But I do take multiple pairs just for that reason, because again, that's just me. And it doesn't take a ton of space in the kit, right? It's just ways to ensure that you're safe on the range, you're comfortable, you're warm, you're making the most of the training you're getting. So by not having certain things or trying to go buy certain stuff, it just distracts you from the day, because I know dudes who have been on the class with me on the range and have forgotten certain things, and they're just miserable an entire day. When you're miserable like that, it detracts from your learning, right? Because you're so focused on being miserable, you can't get over that because you're wet, you're cold, or you forgot something, then you're kicking yourself in the ass for forgetting. It's just one of those things that you don't want to do. So by having a kind of organized loadout that is pretty, goes into a very small case. So now my little carry-on for my clothing, because again, I don't need a ton of clothing. If it's a 2-day class, I need the clothes that I wore there on the plane, the clothes that I wore back, and then some evening clothing for dinners or whatnot, etc. So the case that I normally travel with is a Seahorse case. And this one I forget is, which model is this one? Shoot, I forget which one this is, but I love this case. They are very inexpensive. I think they are just as good as a Pelican case. And what's great about them is that they have a turn lock system, right? That you can secure that so no one can just roll in there. The padlock option, and then you guys have to do TSA locks, of course. I didn't go into TSA locks because you guys are adults. You'll figure out locks on your own. But this has a roller set, right? And then has the expandable handle and makes a great range kit to take wherever you want to go. And again, it's a very durable case. The suckers, you can see, it's been around for a minute, but this is made by Seahorse. And I truly, truly think this is the best bang for your buck in regards to a travel case, because Pelicans are not cheap. They're expensive, but this is a great alternative. This and also Case Club. They do a great one as well. Most of their cases, I believe, are laser cut foam. Seahorse, you can get these with and without foam, same as Pelican, and they make these in a ton of different colors, so which is cool because Pelican, I don't know if they have colors yet, I'm not for sure, but I do know these do, and having a color outside of black, especially if you're at the airport or on the range in class, knowing where your stuff is another benefit. So that's it, guys. This is the breakdown for a pistol case for travel class. If I repacked it correctly, only thing that didn't fit in there was the pistols, which of course will fit. But those are some basic essentials that I think if you have a kind of a checklist, if you're traveling, and even if I, like I mentioned before, if I don't travel, this kind of setup is still the same that I do for a one-dayer, just so I know that I have it, and it's a good repetition not to deviate from that pack list. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, I post 2 to 3 videos every week on gear that we use, gear that we manufacture, gear that we review, and gear that we buy. Until next time, be well. Take care.